What if I told you Amalfi Coast isn't just pastel towns and postcard views? Behind the crowds are hidden swim spots, quiet villages, and timing tricks that can save you hours and money. In this video, I'm sharing the 19 best things to do on the Amalfi Coast, plus local tips most guides skip. Stay till the end because I'll show you exactly when to go, where to stay for less, and how to move around without the chaos. 1. Spend a day in Positano. No Amalfi Coast itinerary feels complete without a full day in Positano. Built into a dramatic mountainscape and spilling down toward the Tyrrhenian Sea, this pastel-colored town instantly stole my heart, and it'll probably steal yours too. Positano isn't about rushing from one attraction to another. It's about slowing down, soaking in the views, and enjoying the simple luxuries. Spend the day relaxing at Arienzo Beach Club, where sunbeds usually run about $35 to $50 per person, or claim a free spot on Spiaggia Grande if you don't mind the pebbles. Grab picnic supplies, prosciutto, burrata, and fresh bread from a local shop like the Wine Shop, and enjoy lunch by the water for under $20 to $25 per person. Browse breezy linen boutiques or splurge on custom leather sandals made to fit your feet perfectly. Typically $120 to $160 depending on style. As the sun begins to dip, pick up a to-go cocktail from La Alternativa for about $10 to $12, then stroll up to Franco's Bar for a sunset aperitivo overlooking the bay. Cocktails here average $18 to $22, and the view is unforgettable. End the night with dinner at Il Tridente, where a full meal with wine usually lands around $60 to $80 per person. If you can, book a hotel suite with a balcony overlooking the Bay of Positano. Prices often start around $500 per night, but waking up to a sunrise over the coast is an experience you'll remember forever. Insider tip: visit the beach before 10 a.m. or after 4 p.m. for fewer crowds, and shop for sandals in the late afternoon when craftsmen have more time to customize. 2. Take a hike along the coast. The Amalfi Coast is laced with ancient hiking trails that once connected villages long before roads and buses existed. These paths offer non-stop views, serious elevation changes, and legs that may feel more like limoncello than muscle afterward. Bring proper hiking shoes and plenty of water, especially in warmer months. Hike the Path of the Gods. This legendary trail once served as a main route between villages like Nocelle and Pomerano. Today, it's one of the most scenic hikes in Italy. The trail stretches about 4 miles, 7 kilometers, and usually takes 3 to 4 hours depending on your pace and photo stops, which will be many. You can start in Nocelle just above Positano or in Pomerano near Agherola. Guided hikes with a local typically cost around $55 to $70 per person, and having someone share stories about the land and help with navigation is worth it. Insider tip: start early in the morning for cooler temperatures and clearer skies, and hike midweek to avoid the largest tour groups. Hike from Atrani to Ravello. This hike may be shorter than the Path of the Gods, but don't underestimate it. The climb includes roughly 1,500 ancient stone steps winding through lemon groves and olive trees. The ascent is challenging, but the views over the Tyrrhenian Sea and the Latari Mountains are worth every step. You can start from Atrani, Amalfi, or even Maiori, and once you reach Ravello, reward yourself by exploring the town or taking a bus back down for about $2 to $3. Insider tip: bring small bills for espresso stops along the way, and watch for the friendly local cats that often lounge in shaded corners. 3. Stroll Ravello's iconic villas. Ravello feels quieter and more romantic than most Amalfi Coast towns, making it perfect for a slow afternoon wandering through historic villas and gardens. Villa Cimbrone. Villa Cimbrone's gardens are dramatic and immersive, filled with fountains, statues, and panoramic viewpoints. The shaded avenue of immensity, wrapped in wisteria, feels almost surreal, and the Terrazzo del Infinito, lined with marble busts, offers one of the most breathtaking views on the coast. Entry costs about $11, and the garden opens daily around 9 a.m. Insider tip: visit right at opening time for quieter paths and softer morning light. Villa Ruffolo. Dating back to the 13th century, Villa Ruffalo blends lush gardens with Romanesque, Gothic, and Moorish architecture. Highlights include the Moorish courtyard, the panoramic gardens, and the Torre Maggiore Museum. Admission runs about $9, and it's an easy walk from Ravello's main square. Insider tip: time your visit for late afternoon when tour groups thin out and the gardens glow in golden light. 4. Go on a boat ride along the coast. Seeing the Amalfi Coast from the water is unforgettable. Limestone cliffs tower above you as you cruise past hidden coves, swim in crystal clear water, snorkel into sea caves, and glide beneath dramatic coastal bridges like the one at Fiordo di Furore. Most tours include drinks, fresh fruit, and plenty of swim stops. Small group half-day tours typically cost $130 to $160 per person for about 4 hours. Private full-day boat tours for up to 5 people usually range from $900 to $1,200 total for 7 hours, depending on the season and route. If someone in your group is comfortable captaining, renting a boat for a day, no license required, can cost around $450 to $600 total for 8 hours, making it one of the best values. Insider tip: choose a morning departure for calmer seas and clearer water, especially in summer. 5. Explore bustling Amalfi. Amalfi is lively, energetic, and often the busiest town along the coast. Wander its cobblestone streets, people watch in Piazza Duomo, and take in the harbor views. For a meaningful souvenir, browse handmade Amalfi paper. Bookmarks and stationery usually cost $5 to $20, or visit the Museo della Carta for about $6 to learn how this centuries-old craft began. If you want beach time, rent an umbrella and 2 sunbeds at a beach club like Tonino's for around $32 to $35, or head to the free public beach nearby. Insider tip: visit Amalfi early in the morning or arrive by ferry after 4 p.m. to avoid peak crowds, even in shoulder seasons like April or October. 6. Discover the Duomo di Amalfi, Amalfi Cathedral. The Duomo di Amalfi absolutely deserves its own moment because it's spectacular. Climb the 62 stone steps and step into a space filled with shimmering gold details, polished marble, vivid frescoes, and even human skeletons resting in the crypt. The cathedral, often known as the Cattedrale di Sant'Andrea, dates back to the 6th century and layers Arab Norman, Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque styles in a way that feels both dramatic and intimate. A single ticket, about $3, gives you full access to the cathedral, museum, cloister, bell tower, and the crypt where the relics of St. Andrew are kept. Take your time wandering the cloister and the Basilica of the Crucifix, now part of the museum. Every corner tells a different chapter of Amalfi's history. Insider tip: visit early in the morning or during the last hour before closing to avoid tour groups, and look up in the nave. Many visitors miss the ceiling details entirely. 7. Take a cooking class at a local farm. I never skip a cooking class in Italy, and this one turned out to be one of my favorite experiences on the Amalfi Coast. Set high in the hills on a lush farm overlooking the sea, the location alone feels unreal. The day started in the garden, harvesting fresh ingredients while learning about the coast's local produce. Then we cooked. A lot! Nearly a dozen classic dishes, all made from scratch, paired with bottomless local wine and regional recipes passed down through generations. During my class, we made artichoke bruschetta, ricotta stuffed zucchini blossoms, seasonal salads, local pesto with sun-dried tomatoes, anchovies, and capers, plus gnocchi alla sorrentina. It was a full-on farm-to-table feast, and our host Mama Rosetta made the experience unforgettable, joking, laughing, and gently correcting our gnocchi technique the entire time. Expect to pay around $140 to $160 per person, including the class, food, wine, and farmhouse visit. Insider tip: book this early in your trip, you'll appreciate the slower pace before your itinerary fills up, and you'll learn dishes you'll recognize on menus later. 8. Enjoy lunch at Agriturismo. One of my favorite Amalfi Coast memories is a long, lazy lunch at Agriturismo, surrounded by lemon trees, fresh air, and the sound of the Canetto River flowing nearby. Getting there is part of the experience because the only way to reach it is on foot. A gentle 20-minute walk, about 0.6 miles or 1 kilometer, into the low hills behind Amalfi brings you to an all-organic farm-to-table oasis called Agricola Fuori Porta. It's open for lunch only, requires a reservation, and it's worth planning around. The last time I visited, we ordered the antipasto della casa with house-made cold cuts, cheeses, and vegetable bites, followed by eggplant parmigiana, 2 different pastas, and a couple of craft cocktails. The menu changes daily based on what's fresh, and a full meal usually costs $35 to $50 per person. Insider tip: head out late morning and explore the hiking trail along the Caneto River first. There's a small waterfall perfect for a quick dip, and ruins of old Amalfi paper mills to explore before lunch while it's still cold. 9. Visit Atrani, the smallest town in Italy. Just a 10-minute flat walk, or about 0.4 miles or 0.6 kilometers from Amalfi, Atrani feels like stepping into another era. This tiny fishing village is one of the most charming spots on the coast. Ancient arches hold up the coastal road as it curves around the town, creating one of the best photo ops in the area. Wander the black sand beach and then follow the arches to a maze of narrow alleys filled with everyday Italian life. Laundry overhead, espresso cups clinking, and neighbors chatting across balconies. End your visit in the main piazza with a cocktail and fresh seafood. Expect to spend around $12 to $15 for a drink and $25 to $35 for a seafood lunch or dinner. Insider tip: Atrani is one of the best places to stay on the Amalfi Coast. It's quieter, more affordable than Amalfi, and still within walking distance of the ferry port. Hotels here often cost 30 to 40% less than similar options next door. 10. Swim at Fiordo di Furore. This is Italy's only fjord, and one of the most memorable swim spots on the Amalfi Coast. Fiordo di Furore, sometimes called the Fjord of Fury, is framed by dramatic cliffs and crossed by a 92-foot-tall bridge that's instantly recognizable. But the real magic happens below. Walk down roughly 200 well-built steps and jump into the bright blue Tyrrhenian Sea. The water's refreshingly cool, and the setting feels wild and cinematic. To get here, take the Amalfi Sorrento bus from Salerno, transfer in Amalfi first. Driving or scootering isn't ideal due to extremely limited parking. Bus tickets typically cost $2 to $3. Another option is arriving by boat, either on a tour or renting your own, so you can anchor and swim as long as you like. Boat tours that stop here usually run $130 to $160 per person, while private boat rentals start around $450 to $600 total for a full day. Insider tip: visit before noon when the sun reaches the beach and crowds are lighter. In peak summer, the shade arrives early in the afternoon. 11. Take a day trip to Capri. A day trip to Capri belongs on every Amalfi Coast itinerary. Between the dramatic limestone cliffs, electric blue water, lush gardens, and stylish little towns, the island feels cinematic from the moment you arrive. And yes, caprese salad absolutely tastes better here. Getting to Capri is easy. Ferries run regularly from Amalfi and Positano, with round-trip tickets costing usually $45 to $65 depending on the season and departure point. You can explore on your own or book a guided full-day boat cruise, which usually runs $140 to $180 per person and includes a scenic loop around the island. Many of Capri's most famous sights can only be seen from the water, including the Faraglioni sea stacks, the Blue Grotto, White Grotto, Green Grotto, and Punta Carena Lighthouse. Once on land, relax at a beach club, $30 to $50 for sunbeds, ride the funicular up to Capri's main square, stroll through the gardens of Augustus, about $2, or head to Ana Capri. I loved wandering Ana Capri's quieter streets, eating at Shue Shue, and taking the chairlift to Monte Solero, the highest point on the island, for jaw-dropping views. The chairlift costs around $15 round trip and covers 0.6 miles, 1 kilometer, in about 12 minutes. Insider tip: book the earliest ferry to Capri and the latest one back. Capri fills up fast, and having extra hours makes a huge difference. 12. Savor Amalfi Coast cuisine. Eating well on the Amalfi Coast is effortless and essential. Between seafood pulled straight from the sea, Naples-style pizza, and everything infused with lemon, every meal feels intentional. For something quick and local, grab a cuopo frito, a paper cone filled with fried seafood and vegetables, usually $8 to $12. Cuopo di Amalfi is a standout. Sit-down seafood meals with fresh scialatielli pasta or fish of the day generally cost $25 to $40 per person. Pizza lovers should make time for Donna Stella in Amalfi or Che Bonta in Praiano, where pizzas average $10 to $14. Lemon-forward dishes are everywhere. Pasta al limone, lemon ravioli, granita, delizia al limone, and limoncello. For a special night out, I love dining at Amalfi Town at Amalfi Duomo with views of the glowing cathedral, $60 to $80 per person. In Positano, Michelin-starred spots like Ligali, La Sera, and Zas elevate the experience, and if you're staying in Sorrento, La Antica Trattoria is unforgettable. Insider tip. Lunch menus are often significantly cheaper than dinner. Same food, calmer atmosphere, better value. 13. Relax at a beach club. From Furore to Castiglione, the Amalfi Coast is packed with beautiful black sand beaches and lidos. Luxury beach clubs like Arienzo, One Fire, and Lido di Ravello offer full service, cocktails, and views. Expect to pay $35 to $60 per person in high season. For something more relaxed, Tonino's Beach Club in Amalfi lets you rent an umbrella and 2 loungers for $22 to $45 depending on the month. Public beaches are free and lively, though they get crowded quickly. Insider tip. Arrive before 10 a.m. or after 4 p.m. for better availability and softer sun. Beach clubs often discount late afternoon entry. 14. Take a half-day trip to Pompeii. A visit to Pompeii adds depth and perspective to your Amalfi Coast trip. Walking through this ancient Roman city, frozen in time after Mount Vesuvius erupted in 79 AD, is both fascinating and haunting. Most half-day tours include air-conditioned transport from the Amalfi Coast, skip-the-line tickets, and a small group guided experience. Prices typically range from $90 to $130 per person, and the tour lasts about 4 to 5 hours total. Pompeii is close, but having a guide helps bring the ruins to life. Insider tip. Wear comfortable shoes. Pompeii's stone streets are uneven, and you'll walk about 1.5 miles to 2 miles, 2.5 to 3 kilometers inside the site. 15. Explore Amalfi's hidden gem, Vietri sul Mare. Vietri sul Mare is often overlooked, and that's exactly why it's special. Known as the gateway to the Amalfi Coast, it's colorful, relaxed, and deeply rooted in ceramic artistry. Ferries from Amalfi cost around $10 to $15 and make this an easy, self-guided trip. Beach days here feel more spacious than in Positano, and the town's ceramic museum and workshops are a joy to explore. Don't miss Villa Comunale, often called the Park Güell of the Amalfi Coast, for sweeping views and mosaic-covered terraces. I spent my first night on the Amalfi Coast here, and it's a fantastic base. Hotels like Palazzo Suriano often cost 30 to 40% less than similar properties elsewhere on the coast. Insider tip. Shop for ceramics in Vietri instead of Positano. Prices are lower, and quality is just as high. 16. Shop for ceramics at Lemon Souvenirs. Ceramic workshops dot the entire Amalfi Coast, but Vietri remains the heart of the craft. From olive oil bottles to vases and bowls, functional ceramics make meaningful souvenirs. Small pieces start around $15 to $25, while larger statement items can reach $100 plus. Lemon-themed everything from linens to soap to ornaments is everywhere, and Italian linen clothing is worth browsing too. Insider tip. Ask shops about shipping. Many will safely ship ceramics home for less than airline baggage fees. 17. Visit an ancient Roman villa in Positano. Hidden beneath Positano's main church, the Museo Archeologico Romano offers a quieter cultural moment. This ancient Roman villa, built for elite leisure, dates back to the 1st century BC and features beautifully preserved frescoes and artifacts. Visits are guided only, lasts about 30 minutes, and costs around $16 per person. The ticket also includes access to the church crypt. Insider tip. This is perfect on a cloudy or windy day. On a sunny beach day, I'd skip it. 18. Devour a delizia al limone. Delizia al limone is the Amalfi Coast's signature dessert, and it lives up to the hype. These soft sponge cakes are filled with lemon custard, soaked in limoncello syrup, and finished with a silky glaze. My favorite place to enjoy it is Pasticceria Andrea Panza in Amalfi's Piazza Duomo. A dessert costs around $7 to $9, and pairing it with a bottle of local wine, $25 to $35, makes for the perfect nightcap. Insider tip: sit outside in the evening. The cathedral lighting makes the experience even better. 19. Wake up to a magnificent view. One of the most unforgettable Amalfi Coast moments isn't an attraction at all. It's waking up slowly, stepping onto your balcony with coffee in hand, and watching the Mediterranean shimmer below colorful cliffside towns. Sit, breathe, take it in. This is the Amalfi Coast, exactly as it's meant to be experienced. Useful information before visiting Amalfi Coast. Best time to visit the Amalfi Coast. The best time to visit the Amalfi Coast is May to June and September, when the weather's warm but comfortable, crowds are lighter, and the sea is perfect for swimming. Expect daytime temperatures around 72 to 82 degrees Fahrenheit, 22 to 28 degrees Celsius, with cooler evenings ideal for sunset dinners. July and August are hot and crowded, often reaching 88 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit, 31 to 35 degrees Celsius, with packed ferries and fully booked beach clubs. Still beautiful, but intense. April and October are excellent shoulder season months, with temperatures around 60 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit, 16 to 22 degrees Celsius, fewer tourists, and lower hotel prices, though the sea may be cooler. November through March is the off-season, with temps around 50 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 to 16 degrees Celsius. Many hotels and beach clubs close. Ferries run less often, but the coast feels peaceful and authentic. Where to stay on the Amalfi Coast? Choosing where to stay on the Amalfi Coast depends on your travel style. Positano's the most iconic and romantic, with dramatic views and boutique hotels, but it's also the most expensive. Expect $450 to $1,200 per night. Amalfi is lively and central, perfect for ferries and day trips, with hotels ranging from $220 to $600 per night. Atrani is quieter, charming, and a major value pick, often $160 to $350 per night, while still being a flat 10-minute walk, 0.4 miles, 0.6 kilometers to Amalfi. Ravello sits higher above the sea, offering serenity and sweeping views, with hotels around $250 to $700 per night. For fewer crowds and better prices, Vietri is a hidden gem with colorful ceramics, spacious beaches, and hotels, typically $150 to $400 per night. How to get around the Amalfi Coast? Getting around the Amalfi Coast is part of the adventure. Ferries are the most scenic and efficient way to travel between towns like Positano, Amalfi, Capri, and Sorrento, costing about $10 to $25 per ride, depending on the distance. The Sita buses are the cheapest option at around $2 to $4 per ride, but they can be crowded in high season. Taxis and private drivers are convenient but pricey. Short rides often start at $25 to $40, while longer transfers can exceed $100. Renting a scooter costs around $50 to $70 per day, but driving experience is essential due to narrow roads. Car rentals are generally not recommended unless absolutely necessary, thanks to traffic and limited parking. For day trips to Capri or coastal swimming spots, boat tours range from $130 to $180 per person, while private boat rentals start around $450 to $600 total for a full day. Where to eat on the Amalfi Coast? Food is a highlight of any Amalfi Coast trip, and the must-try dishes are simple, fresh, and full of lemon. Start with seafood. Try scialatelli ai frutti di mare, or the fish of the day, typically $25 to $40 per entree. For something quick, grab a cuopo fritto, a cone of fried seafood for $8 to $12. Pizza lovers will find excellent Neapolitan-style pies at places like Donna Stella or Chibonta, with pizzas around $10 to $14. Lemon dishes are everywhere. Pasta al limone, lemon ravioli, granita al limone, and of course, limoncello. For a special night, dine with cathedral views at Duomo Amalfi, where a full dinner averages $60 to $80 per person. Finish with delizia al limone at Pasticceria Andrea Panza for about $7 to $9. A perfect, sweet ending to a coastal evening.